All right, that brings us to our flyweight co-main event now, where we got Amir Albazi coming in at plus 285, going up against Kyoji Horiguchi, who is minus 350. Now, starting off on the Albazi side of things, he is coming off of a main event loss against Brandon Moreno from 2024, which means that Albazi has been sitting on the sidelines for quite a while now. He's had to deal with a lot of injuries, which often keeps him inactive. He was scheduled for a fight in 2025 against Tatsuro Taira. That was meant to be a fight night main event, but he was forced to pull out of it. But now he makes his return in a high-profile matchup against a former UFC title challenger. Albazi was streaking, obviously, right? He's had a lot of good wins on his record, was undefeated in the UFC leading into that Moreno matchup. He's had some close fights. The Zumagula fight could have gone either way. The Kai Kara-France fight, a lot of people are thinking that he should have lost that main event slot. But he ends up getting the split decision. I think it was a split decision win. But against Moreno, we saw what his ceiling is. If he can get to his wrestling and accrue enough top position, he's going to get outboxed by these superior strikers, and that's exactly what happened in the Moreno fight. I think outside of one judge that gave one round for him, he pretty much got swept on all scorecards that night. He has a developing striking game, so he's definitely getting better with his hands, but the crux of his game is often with the wrestling and that top pressure. Once he's able to establish that top pressure, he's able to, grind opponents out, get to finishing positions. He has some decent striking when he can get to it, but a lot of his success comes from that wrestling. His gas tank is also not that bad either. But, the inactivity, the injuries, it all makes you think whether he has what it takes to really establish himself back into title contention. And now, going up against a guy in Kyoji Horiguchi who could not have had a better return than what he had against Tagir Ulanbekov when he was able to get the third round submission victory that night. I believe it was the third round. Maybe second round. Yeah, second round. Horiguchi showed great takedown defense against Ulanbekov, got off on his own takedowns and pummeled Ulanbekov. Great kicking game as well that really muzzled Ulanbekov's style, and we saw Horiguchi just style on him, and it was such a dominant performance. Really outfought that big plus money line that he had coming into that fight. I was on the Ulanbekov side. I don't think I played it, but I did predict Ulanbekov because I think that Ulanbekov would have been able to get the takedowns and get good control time. But it's very obvious that Horiguchi has worked on his defensive grappling game, especially after coming up short against Patchy Mix 4 years ago. A lot of that probably also had to do with the fact that he was being forced to fight at 135, now being able to fight at 125, not as much of a strength disadvantage, which obviously plays into the grappling game in certain fights. But in this matchup here, against Albazi, I think we'll see Horiguchi's brilliance, and I think that's why he's up at minus 350 again. I think he'll stop the takedowns of Albazi. I think he'll be a much faster striker. I think the kicking game is going to cause Albazi a lot of trouble, and I think that will eventually lead to a Horiguchi knockout win. Horiguchi is just far superior in every aspect of the game here. Maybe takedown for takedown, maybe Albazi might have a smidgen of an advantage, but it's not so much to the point that I think he's going to be a live dog here. He's going to be forced to strike with Horiguchi, and then I think he's just going to be behind it the entire time. Horiguchi has had some suspect chin issues at times, right? Sergio Pettis landed that spinning back elbow, I think it was, or spinning back fist that Horiguchi did not see coming at all. And then that was the last time that we saw Horiguchi get cracked and get finished. But I think that's more of an anomaly. I think he's usually pretty safe in the striking realm, and I just don't see the type of threat that Albazi brings with his striking that would cause Horiguchi problems here. So once again, I'm going to go Horiguchi by knockout. Very interested to see what those odds are when those drop for that prop. But I think Horiguchi makes this look easy, and I think minus 350 ends up looking like a steal of a line.